Have you ever felt exhausted from constantly trying to improve yourself, but deep down still feel like you are not enough? Maybe you journal, you listen to podcasts, you read self-help books, you go to therapy, you work on your mindset, you try to heal, but somehow the feeling still comes back. That quiet voice that says, you should be doing better. You are still behind. You are still not enough. And sometimes the more you work on yourself, the more flawed you start to feel. If that resonates with you, I want you to know that there is actually a psychological reason for this, and it does not mean you are failing at healing. My name is Renata Karlinskaite. I am a psychotherapist and hypnotherapist, and I help people to build healthy self-esteem, grow through confidence, and live with resilience. And if you are tired of constantly criticizing yourself internally, I have created a free self-esteem and confidence affirmations audio to support you in building a healthy inner dialogue. The link is in the description. In this video, we are going to talk about why so many people work so hard on themselves but still secretly feel not good enough, what psychology and neuroscience say about it, and what actually helps healing on a deeper level. One of the most important things to understand is this. Feeling not good enough is usually not a rational thought problem. It's often a deeply conditioned emotional pattern. And many of these patterns begin much earlier in life than people realize. As human beings, we learn about ourselves through our experiences and relationships. So if someone grew up feeling heavily criticized, emotionally neglected compared to others, or like they had to achieve in order to receive love, approval, or safety, their nerve system can begin to associate worth with performance. In other words, I'm lovable when I succeed. I'm accepted when I please others. I'm safe when I don't fail. And over time, this can create patterns like perfectionism, people-pleasing, chronic self-doubt, overthinking, and constantly feeling like you need to improve yourself just to deserve rest, confidence, or self-acceptance. A lot of people don't even realize they are carrying this belief because on the outside, they may look successful, responsible, motivated, or high-functioning, but internally, there is often a constant pressure running in the background. And psychology explains why this feeling can persist even when life improves. Your brain is designed primarily for survival, not happiness. The brain constantly scans for danger, rejection, mistakes, and threats. This is partly due to something called a negative bias. Our brains naturally pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones, because evolutionarily detecting danger helped humans survive, which means one criticism can emotionally outweigh 10 compliments. And if someone repeatedly experienced criticism, shame, rejection, or emotional insecurity growing up, the brain can become trained to expect those experiences. So even when things are objectively okay, even when people compliment you, even when you are achieving things, your nerve system may still stay stuck in self-protection mode. And this is why healing can sometimes feel confusing, because logically you may know you are doing well, but emotionally your nerve system may still feel unsafe. Another thing that often happens is that self-improvement itself can become emotionally addictive. And this is something I see quite a lot. Many people unconsciously start believing, once I finally fix myself completely, then I will feel worthy. So they keep chasing more productivity, more healing, more success, more confidence, more achievements, more self-work. But every time they reach one goal, their mind creates another one. I will feel enough when I lose weight, when I earn more money, when I become more confident, when I stop being anxious, when everyone approves of me. And because the feeling of worth is being placed in the future, people can spend years trying to earn a sense of enoughness that never fully arrives. And this is where it's important to understand the difference between healthy growth and shame-based self-improvement. Healthy growth says, I already have worth as a human being and I want to grow. Shame-based self-improvement says, I need to improve because who I am right now is unacceptable. And that second mindset often creates emotional exhaustion because no matter how much you achieve, your self-worth still feels conditional. Psychology also shows us that repetitive thoughts strengthen neural pathways in the brain. Think of it like walking through grass. The more often you walk the same path, the deeper and more automatic it becomes. And self-critical thinking works the same way. If someone has spent years repeating thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'm failing, I'm behind, I'm not lovable enough, those thoughts can eventually become automatic mental habits. Not because they are true, but because the brain has practiced them repeatedly. And social media can make this even worse because we are constantly exposed to idealized versions of other people's lives. And psychologically, this creates what's called a self-discrepancy, a painful gap between who we are and who we think we should be. The problem is the ideal self people compare themselves to is often unrealistic, filtered, performative, or impossible to maintain. And yet, many people judge their real human selves against those impossible standards every single day. So, what actually helps? A real healing is usually not about becoming perfect. It's about changing the relationship you have with yourself. And this is where self-compassion becomes incredibly important. A research in psychology has shown that self-compassion is strongly connected to emotional resilience, healthier self-esteem, and lower anxiety and greater well-being. But many people misunderstand self-compassion. They think it means becoming lazy, weak, or making excuses. It doesn't. Self-compassion simply means learning to stop relating to yourself through constant attack, shame, and internal punishment. Because the truth is, many people are trying to heal while still bullying themselves internally every day. And healing doesn't happen well in an environment of constant inner criticism. Human beings heal better psychologically when they feel emotionally safe. And this is also why nervous system regulation matters. When someone has spent years in survival mode, constantly stressed, overthinking, hypervigilant, or afraid of failure, the body itself can become used to tension and self-protection. So healing often involves teaching the mind and body that it's safe to soften, safe to rest, safe to be imperfect, safe to exist without constantly proving your worth. And honestly, that can feel uncomfortable at first, because if someone has tied their worth to achievement for years, slowing down can initially feel unsafe. But over time, people can absolutely build healthier self-worth. Not through perfection, and not through endless self-fixing, but through learning to relate to themselves differently. And I really want to say this clearly. The fact that you still struggle sometimes does not mean your healing isn't working. Healing is rarely linear, and often becoming more self-aware means you notice your patterns more clearly than before. That's not failure, that's awareness. If you would like support with shifting negative self-talk and building healthier self-esteem and self-worth, you can download my free self-esteem and confidence affirmation audio below. And if you feel ready for deeper subconscious work, I have also created a step-by-step course with hypnosis designed to help you build healthier self-esteem and confidence at both a conscious and subconscious level. You will find both links in the description. And before I finish, I want to leave you with this. Maybe you were never meant to earn your worth through exhaustion. And maybe you don't need to become perfect before you deserve self-acceptance. And maybe healing is not about becoming a completely different person, but finally learning that you were worthy of compassion long before you became productive, successful, confident, and fully healed. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And if you found it helpful, please subscribe for more videos about self-esteem, confidence, emotional healing, mindset, and resilience. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.